Good day, everyone. Today, I will be presenting a topic that plays a major role not just in sports performance but also in how athletes behave during games, and that is aggression in sports and fitness. So, aggression in sport involves those occasions where the person has the intent of hurting another, where the other is motivated to avoid that behavior and is normally categorized as either instrumental or reactive. So, yung aggression, it is an action or behavior of a person. So, you can either use it in a positive or negative way. It depends on the intention pa rin po. And later on, we will discuss what is the instrumental or reactive. So, I will give an additional information about aggression. So, we have positive and negative aggression. So, in a positive aggression, you're in a right mind pa, like you can control what you are doing. For example, you're aggressive to win the game on the sport na sinalihan mo. You did your very best to win the game in a good way because you are that determined to reach your goal, or tinatawag natin to na instrumental aggression. While in a negative aggression, that's where you can control yourself. Dun mo na nailalabas yung animalistic behavior mo, yung mas pinapairal mo ang galit at nagiging mapanakit ka na, and that's what holistic aggression. And mamaya pag-aaralan natin yan. And also me, personally, I have that kind of negative aggression or an animalistic behavior too. But not in a way naman na mananakit ako. Nagdadabog lang sa sobrang inis. But not that hard naman po. So, sa mundo ng sport, ang aggression ay hindi palaging masama. Kung ito ay naayon naman sa rules and you have discipline on yourself, it is your way to be successful sa gusto mong makuha o maabot. However, kapag ito ay bunga ng galit o paghihiganti mo, nagiging hadlang ito sa sportsmanship at respect mo sa tao. So, my example is like sa aggression, ang aggression ay parang apoy na kapag ginamit mo ng tama, ito ay nagbibigay lakas. Kapag wala ka naman sa control, nakakasunog at nakakasira. So, true athlete knows how to control their aggression, using it not to hurt others but to succeed with respect and honor. Next, frustration. Frustration is known to play a key role in aggression. It is the view that is innate and also something that is learned. Dollard, 1939, argues that aggression is innate and only occurs in frustrating situations, but Miller, in 1941, claimed to differ. He stated that it was frustration that made aggression more likely. He stated that for one or more reasons, athletes won't show this aggression in their profession. So, ang frustration, it is an emotional response that happens when something or someone blocks you or may hadlang to achieve your goal or satisfy yung gusto mong mangyari. Ito ay panloob o internal na nararamdaman mo emotionally, not by physically. However, kung i-compare natin siya sa aggression, yung aggression naman is yung panlabas o external na naipapakita mo through your action. Pwede mong mailabas ang aggression mo caused by frustration, pero di madalas ito nangyayari. So, frustration is not aggression itself, but it can lead to aggression, especially when the individual feels helpless or di lagi nakukuha ang gusto niyang mangyari. So, sabi nga ni Dollard in 1939, he believed that aggression is innate, na di mo ito natututunan sa iba, na nasa iyong pag-uugali na ito, or you are born with it, and only shows up in frustrating situations. So, no frustration, no aggression. While King Miller naman, in 1941, he said he is disagreed with Dollard and he believed that frustration increases na magkaroon ng aggression, but it doesn't guarantee it. Like for example, athletes may feel frustrated but choose not to act aggressively because they don't want to show their aggression because they are professionally trained and they have self-control na di nila pinapakita yung pagiging aggressive nila sa laro. So, sa madaling salita, ang aggression is intentionally, not just an accident behavior. Next, we have the 3 types of aggression in sport. First, hostile aggression. Second, instrumental aggression. And third, assertive aggression or behavior. So, hostile aggression, it is a participant's purpose to solely harm someone physically using their first elbow can fall into this category, and sporting example of this shown in football by Ben Thatcher of Manchester City when he slammed his elbow into Pedro Mendes of Portsmouth. This can also be called reactive aggression or sympathetic arousal and is associated with anger. So, hostile aggression nga po, it is an aggression na the athlete intentionally hurt their opponent physically caused by their anger o galit and caused by their emotion, kung ano man yung nararamdaman nila sa larong yun. And that's what we call sympathetic arousal. So, ang sympathetic arousal, ito ay kung saan ang ating katawan ay nagre-react or nagiging alerto sa anuman mangyari. And doon nag-activate ang sympathetic nervous system ng tao. Yung nararamdaman mo ito pag malakas ang pressure o takot ka na matalo o nasa-stress ka na sa laro. Halimbawa, yun nga po, yung sa football, yung kay Ben Thatcher ng Manchester City ay sinadya ng suntukin si Pedro gamit ang kanyang siko. So, doon, yung sympathetic arousal niya, pwedeng nakaramdam siya ng pressure, kaya sinuntok niya si Pedro, kaya naging aggressive siya. And for another example, sa basketball na naglalaro kayo tapos sinadya mo na tulakin yung kalaro mo dahil naiinis ka na. And also, maybe because of the pressure na pwedeng di niya makuha yung ball o may galit na talaga siya dun sa kalaban na yun. In short, nagawa niya yun kasi gusto niyang manalo. And yung ginamit niya nga doon na sympathetic arousal is yung inis and yung pressure. Kaya nagawa niyang manakit doon sa laro na yun. So, ang hostile aggression ay hindi dapat tinotolerate sa anumang sport. Dapat silang madisiplina at magkaroon ng respeto sa bawat isa. Next, instrumental aggression or tinatawag natin na channeled aggression. This is used to achieve the goal, which can be to tackle harder to gain possession of the ball. That's an example given on rugby, and it is also known as channeled aggression, the ability to turn it on and off and control their temperament, and it is not associated with anger. Rules of games differ, and what you would call emotion and energy in one sport can be seen as assault in another. Um, so the emotion here is controlled and can be turned on and off depending on the situation. It is not driven by anger, but is part of the your strategy in the game. So, for example, a player smashes the shuttlecock with great power directly at the opponent to score a point. So, ang intention niya dito is not to hurt the opponent, but to have an advantage to win the game. Na yung way niya is yung paglakas ng tama niya sa shuttlecock, and that's the strategy. So, sa taekwondo naman, for my example is a fighter delivers a fast and strong kick to the opponent's body to score points or to outbalance the opponent. So, yung kick part sa sport, sa taekwondo, na strategy niya is performed within the rules. Kasi syempre sa taekwondo, 'di ba? Nasa rules naman talaga yan na may masasaktan talaga, pero hindi mo naman intention na gawin yon, and nagawa mo lang yon para manalo. So, next, assertive behavior or aggression refers to playing with high intensity and physicality within the rules of the game without intending to harm others. According to sports psychologists, assertive behavior is a valuable trait that can improve performance while maintaining respect for opponents and the game. So, dito sa assertive behavior, gumagamit ka ng high energy and physical strength, but within the rules of the game and without any intention to harm someone. In other words, it's aggressive yet disciplined. Your focus is to win the game or to goal the game, not to hurt your opponent. So, for example, sa volleyball, malakas ang spike and serve mo, but you did that not to hurt your opponent, but you did that because you are dedicated to play the game fair. So, may another example is aggressive soccer. They are aggressive to run to get the ball to their opponent in midfield, pero hindi sila gumagamit ng dirty play. So, aggressive tumakbo ka lang ng mabilis para you aggressively run para makuha mo lang yung ball mo sa opponent mo, pero it's part of the rules and hindi ka gumagamit ng dirty play. You are fair to play the game. And that's what assertive behavior. So, ang difference ng tatlo is yung hostile aggression nga po is galing sa galit and intentionally niya na gustong manakit. But in instrumental aggression, ginagamitan niya to ng lakas because of the strategy or techniques niya sa laro na yun, but hindi niya intended na manakit. So, nasa rules naman siya. It depends pa din naman sa action. While assertive behavior naman, you have respect sa kalaro mo, and labag ito sa rules. Nasa rules to. So, in assertive behavior, you have full dedication to win or goal the game.
In continuation in our topic, aggression in sports and fitness, there is also a social learning theory that suggests that aggression is something that can be instilled in a child from a very early age. We learn social behavior by observing and imitating the behavior of others in a particular, observing the consequences or a particular action. This is according to Bandura 1979. So we all know that a child can also learn his or her behavior through the surroundings. So for example, in socialization. So minsan yung bata nade-develop din yung behavior na o yung personality niya because of the people na nakakasalumuha niya o nagiging nagkakaroon ng socialization between his or her peers. There are also certain theory na kung ano rin yung naoobserbahan ng mga bata is ginagaya rin ng mga bata. Like for example, if the child observing a person na may kausap and he or she raises their voices, so ang akala ng bata is okay lang yun, but para sa atin na mga adult, it is not normal. So, um, that that particular scenario can also parang na-instill na dun sa bata na, okay pala to na if he or she going to raise her voice is ay okay para sa kanya. Another theory that affects aggression in sports is the cue theory posed by Berkowitz in 1969. It is argued arousal is increased by frustration, which can be felt as anger or psychological pain. Berkowitz 1969 claims arousal only leads to aggression in environment that contain cues. So, dito naman sa theory na to ni Berkowitz, there are certain na mga cues daw na nakaka-trigger kaya nagkakaroon ng aggressive behavior ang isang athlete. Like for example, a player sees a colleague fouled, so he or she decides to join in. So, hindi naman siya involved, yung involved lang naman dun is yung ka-teammate niya, nakita niyang nagkakaroon na ng chaos. So, parang sinali na niya yung sarili niya doon. So, like for example, alam lang mainit na yung situation. So, ang tendency natin is nagkakaroon din tayo ng mainit na behavior. So, it can lead also on aggression. Another example is the presence of weapon can act as aggressive behavior. Like for example, if we are in a public place, tas may nakita tayo na yung isang tao is may weapon, so yung papasok ka agad sa isip natin is baka barilin or kung knife yun, baka saksakin. So, this can also trigger as a cue na nagiging aggressive yung isang tao. Another parts of the brain that affect arousal is the sympathetic division or the stimulates body. And another one is the parasympathetic division or the conserve energy. So what is sympathetic division? It is the arousal reaction. It releases sugar into the system and prepares the body and mind for certain situation that arise. So dito po sa sympathetic division, ito yung nagpapagana sa katawan upang mag-react sa mga hamon na nangyayari sa paligid natin. So, parang ito yung nagti-trigger para yung katawan natin o yung body natin, even our mind is mag-react. So, this is the sympathetic division. The parasympathetic division naman is the counteraction and slow breathing and heart rate. This can relate to social learning because as an athlete gains experience, they will learn to control certain situation and count to 10 to certain environment instead of the losing their control. So yung parasympathetic naman, siya yung nagbabalance dun sa sympathetic division. So kung yung sympathetic division is yung nagpapagana or arose sa katawan natin para mag-lead or magalit tayo, ang function naman ng parasympathetic is na yung nagpapakalma siya sa ating katawan upang hindi tayo ma-trigger na magalit. So like for example, kaya nga may mga ginagawa tayong mga parang mga routine na 'pag nagagalit na tayo, we can have this parang i-inhale or exhale or mag-stop muna. So mag-isip muna kung anong pwedeng gawin kaysa magalit agad tayo. So this is the function of sympathetic division and parasympathetic division. So aggressive behavior tends to be the consequence of one or more contributors. Some of the antecedents are listed below. So these are the factors or the things that can trigger the uh, behavior of a person, so or the athlete. So number one is the nature of the game. So for example, sa nature of the game, kung ang kung ang laro ng player na yun is from the start pa lang is magulo na, so at the end magulo pa rin siya. There are certain mga scenario or situation na nakaka-trigger talaga sa isang athlete na para magkaroon ng mga aggressive behavior. Number two is the crowd, social facilitation. May mga instances din na situation na yung crowd nakakaapekto rin sa behavior ng isang athlete. Like for example, grabe yung pagbabash dahil yung sinusuportahan nilang teams, like for example sa basketball, pag yung kalaban nating team is maraming fans, di mas nagkakaroon sila ng motivation. Unlike naman dun sa mga opponent na walang masyadong fans, nagkakaroon ng parang mainit na parang sitwasyon kasi nga meron yung mga bullying na nangyayari because of the crowd. Number three is the frustration for performance, referee decision. So, meron naman yung mga athlete na nagiging factor din to. Like for example, sa volleyball, itong araw na to, yung game na to is parang um, hindi mo binibigay yung 100% mo. It can also lead na parang hindi ka na ma-motivate, and also the referee decision, very evident to sa mga basketball games na hindi minsan yung kung ano yung desisyon ng referee sumasalungat natin, kasi nga alam naman natin, halimbawa hindi naman talaga yun na foul, so kinol up tayo ng foul. So minsan nagkakaroon din ng mainitan na discussion kapag yung mga desisyon ng referee is hindi align doon sa gusto nating mangyari. Number four is the score. Obviously, yung score, pag talo tayo, nakaka-trigger din 'to ng parang maging aggressive tayo. And also the past experiences. Napaka-importante nga na foundation ng isang tao na yung past experiences mo or yung childhood mo is maging okay. Kasi, 'pag nagiging adult na tayo, nagkakaroon siya ng effect sa behavior natin. Number six, level of competition. Kumbaga kung halimbawa sa basketball, kung mataas na yung energy o yung hype na yung mga tao, it can also lead an aggression and high arousal levels. So, this slide are the summarize of the aggression na classified sa three forms, which is the hostile, instrumental, and the assertive behavior. So, meron tong mga example kung paano nagkakaroon ng natitrigger yung aggression or behavior ng isang athlete. Meron din tayo ditong theories of aggression, the instinct, social learning, frustration, and the aggression, which is we already discussed earlier. So, this slide, parang na lang to, supplement na scenario or situation na may mga example. So, methods to control aggression. So, aggression and aggressive behavior can be controlled externally as well as using internally or is the strategy. So, these are the parang methods kung paano nakokontrol ng isang athlete yung behavior na o yung aggression niya. So, external methods, because of our behavior, puwedeng ang consequence nito is maging punishment. So, iisipin na agad natin na, if I'm going to, get myself into trouble, this meron siyang, consequence na mangyayari. And number two, withdraw violent players from situation. So, if we all know na yung situation na yun is mainit na, so i-ano na natin yung sarili natin. Dito sa internal, ang nakalagay, we have to withdraw self from situation na. So, sa external naman, number three, emphasis on positive role models. And number two, sa internal performance goals, kung yung goals mo naman is mapaganda talaga yung performance mo o yung game mo, so you have to do the things kung paano maging performance to the highest level yung laro mo. So lastly, sa external, reinforcement of non-aggressive behavior, and sa internal naman is change of attitude. So everything that's happening in our lives or in the decision is naka-base kung paano yung perspective natin sa isang pangyayari. So, it is very important kung may mga nangyayari sa buhay natin or changes in every situation, we have to change our attitude to be positive, not to be negative. So, these are our report, the aggression in sports and fitness. So, thank you very much.